A very good day, students. So, in continuation of our lecture series on manufacturing and measurements, so we have already discussed about the casting in the previous lecture series. So, in this lecture series, we will be discussing about the welding process. So, welding is similar to that of casting in some aspects. So, the major thing is both welding and casting come under metal addition process. So, here new materials are formed. Similar to casting, welding also involves formation of new materials. So it's a primary process like that of the casting. So welding primarily involves joining of two metals. So when two metals are joined together, we may call it as welding. So two metals can be joined by many methods. So one method is by melting both materials together or fusing them together. So that is called as fusion welding process. Similar to fusion welding process, many types of welding are available. The most commonly seen welding process we would have seen in a workshop near our house, or you have seen in the automobile shops. So some kind of welding will be done there. They will be using a gas cylinder, or they will be using some electric current to weld. So both these types of welding come under fusion welding process. So other than fusion welding process, there are some other types of welding process also, namely brazing, soldering. So these are classified as welding process, but here in fusion welding, both materials are melted together. But if you take brazing and soldering, here the workpiece or main material will not be melted, but a filler material which is used to fill the gap. It is similar to your adhesive. So that filler material alone will be melted, and it will be used to join these two metals together. So that is example of a non-fusion welding process. Other than that, there is friction welding, resistance welding. So similar types of welding processes are available. In these cases, the workpiece may not be welded, workpiece will not be melted, but they will be softened so that they can stick with one another. So that is about those welding processes. Predominantly, welding, whatever process we are seeing, they come under fusion welding process. Advanced welding process may involve this friction welding, resistance welding, something like this. But whatever welding process we are using in your day-to-day life, the components which are using, like your chair, table, or you take your automobile, those things are done using fusion welding process only. So basic type of fusion welding process, there are two types of fusion welding process available. Simple process like casting, we are saying sand casting is the basic process like that. In welding, there are two basic process available. One is gas welding and another one is arc welding. So based on type of um, fuel used to melt the parts together, the welding process is classified. So in arc welding, as the name indicates, electric arc is used to join the two materials together. In gas welding, as the name indicates, you will be using gas to heat the materials to join it together. So that's the main difference between the gas welding and arc welding process. Though both process involves the same working principle. Here, workpiece is two workpiece or more than two workpiece are joined together by applying heat and melting them together. So localized melting will take place, and then they will be fused together. It's the name fusion welding process. So first we will discuss about the gas welding process. So in the gas welding process, as I said, gas is used to melt and join two materials together. So here, fuel gas used is called as acetylene. similar to your LPG, liquid petroleum gas, which you're using in our household. Here, acetylene is used to melt the metal. So imagine you are using your LPG in your home. Can it be used to melt metal? Because the entire setup is made up of metal only. So the similar type of fuel is used in the gas welding. Then how it is possible to melt the metal? So that's a question for you. While coming to the next class, I hope you prepare the answer for that. How a gas which is similar to that of the LPG which we are using in our home is used to melt a metal. So what's the technique involved? That is what I want you to refer and come while coming to the next class. So to give you a quick recap, today we discussed about the welding process and the types of welding process. I discussed about fusion welding, then about brazing, soldering, and then about friction welding and some other processes. And then we discussed about the two major basic welding processes, which is arc welding and gas welding. So gas welding will be using gas to melt the metals together. So the gas used is called as acetylene. So thank you, students. We will meet in the next lecture video.